What's happening, y'all? That is a great classic standard session tune called the Black Rogue, one that shows up a lot of times around the sessions that I play, and I've heard some great recordings of it, which I'll also link below. But we're going to break it down here. Let's see if we can start with the basic melody and some of these fun little ornaments we can throw in. If you're new here, my name's Sean. I play Irish music on Irish flute and tin whistle, and I'm going to be using a new Lyra Pro for this one, just because it's new to me and I kind of like playing it. Any D whistle will do the job just fine, of course, but that's what I'm going to use here. Let's start with the basic melody, as we always do. Break that down nice and slow, and then we'll go back in and work on some of the ornaments and all that other fun stuff. But here we go. A part, nice and easy. The beginning of it, right? Hopefully that's okay. Made some sense. Second half of the A part is a bit of a repeat. The beginning of it is anyway. And then finishes up slightly different. So here we go, the second half. So we'll put that all together, get the whole A part, still nice and easy, nice mellow tempo, right? Here we go. Hopefully you got through that all right. If not, if there are any spots, maybe where the octave jump was breaking or some spots that just got a little messy, go back and work just those little sections, nice and slow, nice and easy, over and over again until you can't stand it. If you're digging this kind of stuff, please do drop me a like and subscribe. They say it helps the old algorithm and gets the word out and such, but let's jump in with the B part. The B part, as is fairly common in tunes, spends a bunch of time in the upper octaves, so make sure you've got good breath control and good situational awareness of anybody who might not be super thrilled with loud noises. Here we go, still nice and slow. Hopefully you've already got your ears tuned to be looking out for spots for some ornaments, some rolls and things, and there's some good opportunities there. Let's lock down the last half of the B part here. Be mindful it does jump all the way up to that second octave A, so again, hearing and such, here we go, nice and easy. So it finishes the same way that the A part does, so hopefully you'll be able to copy and paste. We're going to play the whole B part, still nice and easy. Here we go. Hopefully you got through that all right. Again, go back, work on any spots that get a little shaky. We'll play the whole thing, still mellow, but a little bit quicker, slightly more approaching session-y type tempo, but again, just basic, nice and easy melody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully had some success with that. You may have caught that I had a bit of an extra pickup note in the B part. That is one of the things we're going to talk about in the deep dive series that I have over my Patreon if you're interested in jumping in on that. A lot more ornamentation, variations, and such fun stuff that we can tack onto this tune. But in the meantime, let's break down some of the basic ornamentation here. One of my favorite things about this tune is that C-sharp slide that you can do. Not a lot of tunes have that, even D major tunes like this, not a lot of them have that. So when it's available, I like to capitalize on it because it's one of those things that's a bit unique to the whistle. That sort of a change, it just screams tin whistle, so I like to use it when I can. So right off the top, couple of other taps in there as well to give it a little bit of a subtle separation rather than just tonguing to separate those notes, but subtlety is the key. I really do want to make that C-sharp slide be the star of this part of the tune. Couple of cuts there. I'm using my sort of standard practice of highest note in the phrase, even though in this case we're descending. As we hit those highest spots in that descending line, I like to accent those. And as I'm doing that slide, by the way, when I come back to it, I'm really using it as a bit of a rhythmic ornament as well. Sort of dragging that slide out through I guess through a longer than expected duration to make it effectively be two notes. And that's my first roll, really, of this tune. On G, got a nice big dotted quarter note there that you can substitute a roll pretty easily for, and then a couple of cuts again just to finish that phrase. When we were talking about the basic melody in the B part, I mentioned keeping your ear out for some spots for rolls. So the basic melody, again, when we jump up to that second octave, anytime you get those sets of three back to back, just a good opportunity for a roll, something to keep an ear out for that maybe you can copy and paste through other tunes. But very natural, very easy substitution, and the roll gives you the same exact number of beats, that you would expect. So I do the maybe double rolls like that, and then a slide into the second octave A. The other benefit to the slide being that it gives you a little bit more confidence. You can hit that note a little cleaner. Could do simple cuts if you wanted to, but the rolls do work, I think. So usually what I'll do is I do a double roll the first time, the first part of that tune. And the second time I might do a roll followed by a cut. And as I'm doing that, I still want to give that jig groove. And that you can accomplish that with a cut and a tonguing. In fact, that's kind of a good exercise to do, particularly in the second octave, to get that lift down. You can do it on a couple of notes there. Good thing to get that feel down. So. Could do it either way. Could do the rolls, double roll first, double roll second. Could do neither of them, and I would experiment with all those, really. That end phrase, the second half of that first half of the B part, I really like to make that nice and light and kind of dancey as much as I can. So a couple of rolls there, but the main thing is that I'm sliding to get into them, and it gives it that I don't know, extending the phrase a bit kind of feel. So I kind of push that beat a little bit further into the bar. Right? So it just kind of moves the groove a little bit, and in that particular spot, I just think it sounds kind of cool. Nothing really different there. Again, the same sort of highest note in the phrase as I'm descending the line. A couple of simple cuts to to mirror how we did it in the first part. So that's what I like to do with this tune. Again, if you're interested in more odds and ends that we could do, some flute-specific things, some keyed flute things, we do have that over on the Patreon. You're welcome to jump on over there, tabs and sheet music and all that kind of stuff. So let me know if you dig this tune, and if there's any suggestions you want me to take a run at, I'd be happy to give it my best shot. And yeah, see what we can do. Cheers, y'all. See you guys in the next one.